Okay, here's our first example of a system of inequalities. That just means that we have more than one. So solve the system of inequalities below by graphing. Use the points and lines on the right to graph your lines. Then stretch and rotate the colored boxes to indicate where your shading belongs. So here's our two inequalities. And over here on the left-hand side, we have a little area to do our work. So for 5x plus 3y is less than or equal to 6, our first step in solving for y to get it into slope-intercept form would be to subtract the 5x to the other side. That gives us 3y is less than or equal to negative 5x plus 6. I had to subtract the 5x to the other side. Our next step would be to divide everything by 3. That gives us y is less than or equal to negative 5 over 3x plus 2. Notice that I did not flip the inequality symbol on this last step. I divided, but I did not divide by a negative number. I was dividing by positive 3, so I did not have to flip the inequality symbol. I divided 5 by 3 and left it as a fraction, and then 6 divided by 3 is 2. So this is our inequality that we'll be graphing in red. Let me go ahead and let's solve the second inequality first before we move on to the graphing. So same steps. I need to move that 4x to the right-hand side. It's positive right now, so I'll need to subtract it. After subtracting it over, we have negative 3y is greater than negative 4x plus 15. My 3 remains negative. Be sure you keep that negative sign that's in front of the number. And I moved my 4x to the right-hand side, so now it's a negative 4. Last step, divide everything by negative 3. Don't forget to flip that inequality symbol when you divide by a negative. When we divide negative 4 by negative 3, we get positive 4 over 3x. And then a positive 15 divided by negative 3 is negative 5. And I did flip my inequality symbol, so now it's y is less than. All right, let's get to graphing. Let's start with this red one. Y is less than or equal to negative 5 over 3x plus 2. I need to start by plotting my points. So I'm going to grab my red points. Put this first one on the y-axis at 2 because my y-intercept is 2. And then my slope is negative 5 over 3. So starting from my y-intercept, I can count down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've already done the negative part, so I don't need to go left to make it a double negative. I need to go to the right 1, 2, 3 spaces. So I went down 5 and right 3 to make it a negative. You can see I'm going to have a negative slope here because it goes down from left to right. Now I don't have any more space for another point, but if I did, I would go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then to the left 3, and that would make it a negative. So I'm going to grab a line, but I have two different red lines, so I need to decide, is it going to be a solid red line or a dashed red line? Well, let me look at my inequality symbol. It was less than or equal to. So the or equal to lets me know I need a solid line. If there's a line in your symbol, you should have a line on your graph. So I'm just going to adjust this so it goes through my points. Ooh, much better than last time. Alright, the last thing I need to do is decide on my shading. So again, look at the symbol. Y is less than or equal to. Less than means below. So I'm going to take this. Let me rotate it first and then stretch it. There we go. Alright, that's good enough. Alright, so the shading is below my line. Alright, let's look at the blue one. Y is less than 4 over 3x minus 5. Start by plotting my points. We begin with B, which is negative 5. So I go down on my y-axis to negative 5 and leave that there. Okay, my slope is 4 over 3. That means rise 4, run 3. It's all positive, so I'm going to go in a positive direction both times. So starting my y-intercept, go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and to the right 3. 1, 2, 3. Leave that point there. I think I can do this again. Starting here, let's count up 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right, 1, 2, 3, drop my point. All right, we have our points. Now let's figure out what line we need. Y is less than, not equal to, just less than. So I don't see a line on my symbol, so I'm going to use a dashed line. So let me just turn it here. There we go. Okay, so a dashed line because I did not have a line in my symbol. And now y is less than, so I would need to shade below. Just rotate that. There we go. All right. Well, let me rotate that a little more. Okay, looks better. So there we go. I have solved this system of inequalities. Where do I find my solutions, though? If it were just an equation, I would just have a line, and my solutions would be the intersection of the two lines. That's not the case with inequalities, though. Where you find your solutions is in the double shaded area. So this purple area right here is where I find my solutions. They are allowed to be on solid lines, but not dashed lines. So I can choose any point in this shaded area or the purple shaded area that's also on the red line. And this shaded area, although you can't tell from this, it goes on forever. So it would make this big old triangle that goes down forever. So I don't just have to choose points within this little part of my purple shaded area. I could choose any point that would be further down as well, as long as it's a part of both the red and the blue. Okay, so it says to list two possible solutions to the system and put our answers here. So I'm going to find one point directly in this purple area. Let's go with this one right here. So let's see, that's 2, -5. I'm just going to delete this, put 2, -5. All right, let's find one more. This time I want to do something a little different. I want to find one that's on this red solid line, but still within the purple, okay? So I don't want to be up here where it's only red. I want to be a part of the red and the blue. So I'm gonna use this point that we had actually plotted right here. So the x value is 3, y value is -3. There we go. Those are two possible solutions to the system of inequalities. There are an infinite amount of correct solutions here, just as long as it's in the purple area or on the red line within the blue shading as well.